Apple and Amazon beating expectations as Apple projected record December revenue and Amazon saw its cloud business accelerate. Joining us right now to talk about all of this is Dan Flax. He is Neuberger Berman senior research analyst. And Dan, both of these stocks higher today, Apple by about 2%, Amazon by close to 13%. Why don't we start with Amazon just because of the outsized gains that you're seeing here today? What caught you the most off guard? What surprised you the most with the numbers there?
Good morning, Becky. What we saw is very good growth at Amazon Web Services, which accelerated to about 20%. And so what we're seeing here is that the company is innovating and executing effectively in very important areas, for example, on their silicon roadmap. And when we speak to customers, they get a tremendous amount of value from Amazon Web Services. It's really about empowering others to build on top. And so I think Amazon's executing well there. The e-commerce business remains healthy, and so we continue to like the name here.
What's your price target, if you have one, over the next 12 months?
I can't give you a specific price target, but what I would say is that this is a company that's investing hundreds of billions of dollars across a number of different businesses. So their e-commerce business, of course, Amazon Web Services. They have an advertising business over $60 billion with over 20% growth. And so when we look out both in the near and the longer term, we see very, very strong performance here. And I think that's going to translate into strong free cash flow growth over the next 2 to 3 years, which I think can help the stock outperform.
What did you think about the company's announcement earlier this month about bringing down headcount, I think by 30,000 or so? That's something that's consistent with what you had anticipated, or is it even more?
Amazon has over 1 million people, and so I expect them, and their track record certainly is one of investing aggressively in their people, investing in technology. I think what they're trying to do with this most recent action is just to reduce the layers throughout the organization in order to enable them to move faster. Clearly, this is a very vibrant and fluid period. Amazon and all of the other platform companies need to keep moving as quickly as possible. So I didn't view that as a significant announcement, rather a continued adjustment in terms of their headcount and their investment levels.
And let's talk about investing in AI. That's a question we've been talking about a lot, especially this week with so many of the Mag 7 reporting. Right now, it seems like Wall Street, for the most part, is rewarding companies that invest. Maybe Meta's the example this week, the opposite example of that, the outlier. But what in terms of what Amazon, Microsoft have said, Google have said, this is still what you would like to see, these companies spending heavily to chase this AI demand?
I do want them to keep investing aggressively. You mentioned Google and Microsoft, of course, in addition to Amazon. They're seeing tremendous growth in their cloud businesses, in fact, where they're capacity constrained. And so as they're putting the silicon and the systems in on one side, they're then generating strong revenue growth on the other side. And this is really being driven by new workloads in areas, for example, like generative AI. And so assuming these companies can continue to get a strong return on this investment, we want to see them investing aggressively, while, of course, navigating what remains a complex cyclical environment. But the key is really generating strong returns and being thoughtful about the investment levels as we look out over the next 12 to 24 months.
Let's talk about Apple. That stock up by about 2% today. It beat fourth quarter expectations, and it also raised the bar pretty significantly for what to anticipate from holiday sales for the iPhone. Your biggest takeaways here?
My key takeaway, Becky, is that the company is continuing to innovate. They're seeing very strong demand for the iPhone 17 product family. I think there's a lot of differentiation in key areas like the camera and video, which, of course, become more and more important with each generation. And so what we're seeing is that the install base is continuing to increase. I think the mix remains healthy. And if we step back and think about the broader company, you have a very strong services business, now over $100 billion, growing double digits. And so we continue to like the name here and expect solid growth as we think about the year ahead.
Dan, the thing that I still can't figure out is, people have left Apple for dead for a long time. They still question the issue of this large language model that they do not have, meaning, they don't have a Gemini the way Google does. They don't have an OpenAI. a partnership they do have. Are you of the view that ultimately they're going to need all of this or not? Or are you of the view that they will get one of these things in the future, either because they will create it or buy it?
Their history, Andrew, is one of continuing to empower others to be successful on the platform. And so Apple has its own large language models, small language models, and I expect them to continue to infuse those into the experience. I think we'll see improvements to Apple Intelligence over the next several months. I think the key is they need to partner with others here. Some of the technology they own themselves. Some of it, of course, they're working with partners such as Google, such as OpenAI. If they can integrate the hardware, the software, and the services in a fun, intuitive, and secure way and really delight users, then I think that is what is most important for the Apple story. Sure, they may go make additional acquisitions to strengthen their product roadmap, but as long as they execute on the product cycles, if I think about iPhone 17 now, of course, iPhone 18 next year, then that I think sets the company up well for solid performance as we think about the next 12 to 24 months.